welcome to another Drive-In Double Feature. I'm Ryan,
I'm Nathan.
and this is the podcast where we talk about two movies a week every Tuesday and Thursday. But before I get into anything at all, we have a Patreon over at patreon.com/Drive-In Double Feature Podcast. Just a couple of friends just hanging out, having some fun conversations, doing a couple of games over there for only $5 a month. Doesn't affect any regular content whatsoever. But today we are talking about 1986's The Best of Times, directed by returning director Roger Spottiswoode. And we if you're wondering what he has directed, he has directed Tomorrow Never Dies, which we both
Right.
enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
And he also directed Stop or My Mom Will Shoot.
Oh, wow. So, which we both enjoyed.
We both loved it. We were
Yeah,
just
we
having a
both
great,
really
great
loved
time.
it.
This guy's got a wild career, though. Just the fact that he's just directed like some just like really garbage movies and
Uh-huh.
and then directed a Bond movie that a lot of people love.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's so weird. And then he also directed Turner and Hooch as well, which I know that's like a cult classic. But then I'm like looking through his later career is a bunch of junk. So what a weird guy. So I guess when we go into a movie like this one, what are we to expect, right?
Hmm. Definitely. Um, but anyway, this movie is called The Best of Times. Nathan, have we talked about a Robin Williams movie before? I was just trying to think. Have we done a
Oh,
Robin Williams movie?
that's a good question. Because he feels like somebody that we would have covered at some point, right? Um,
It feels like we should have at some point,
like
but
he, Mhm.
I can't
Damn.
pinpoint it.
Well, I while I look this up, I will say I'm a huge Robin Williams fan. I love the guy. He wasn't in a bunch of great movies, but he was always an amazing presence. One of my favorite actors. So the I've always looked at this movie, The Best of Times, and have been interested in it, but I've never heard a single thing about it. So I've seen the cover, all that, but I've heard nobody talk about this. But because it has Robin Williams, it's been a movie I've wanted to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I grew up loving Robin Williams. I really loved his movies. You know, he was a real childhood favorite of mine. I uh I was fortunate enough to see him live
Oh,
twice.
really? Holy crap, that
Yeah.
rocks.
So that was like one gift I wanted for my birthday. I was like, you don't have to buy don't have to buy me anything else the rest of this year. I want to go see Robin Williams. So and he actually played where I went to school. He played at the UCF theater, so that was pretty
Oh,
cool to
wow.
see. And then then he did like another one where he'd had like an intimate night with Robin Williams, where it was not so much a stand-up act, but it was like a retrospective of like his whole career, and it was having like a converse, like he was being interviewed by somebody.
Oh, wow. That's actually really fun. That's really cool that you've gotten to see him multiple times in person. What years was that?
That one I think was like 2010 or 2011, something like. He had just had his heart surgery for the
Hmm.
first one because I remember like they had to put the gig on hold and they had to refund like everyone's money because he had just had heart surgery. But then once he healed up, he came back and did it, and they put the dates back up, and that's when I got tickets for it.
Nice. Okay, well, that's really cool. And also, I gotta say, we have never covered a Robin Williams movie from what I can tell. So this is our first one.
Yeah, and I mean, yeah, like you said, I mean, there was a lot of not so great movies that he was in, but at the same time, he still delivered some really great performances in other movies that I want to, make sure that you say too. Like you said, like The Fisher King is one we
My
both
all-time
really love.
favorite movie. I love that movie.
Yeah, absolutely. And he won an Oscar for Good Will Hunting and
Hmm.
lots of other movies too that I think he definitely deserves some praise for. And eventually, I would like to see almost all of his filmography, which I'm kind of working towards. But
Nice.
uh, And but this one though, like it's always I've always seen this one and just seen like the cover and it's just, Robin Williams and Kurt Russell like in a yearbook photo
Hmm.
type of thing. And I've always kind of wondered what it was. And I've always made like assumptions about the movie. Like I never ever read the plot of like this movie. And
Okay.
I've always just made like assumptions about this movie where I've always been like, oh, like Kurt Russell was like this bully in high school, and
Yeah.
Robin Williams like this nerdy type of guy, and now he's kind of it's like he's like now Robin Williams is like kind of successful, or he feels like really stunted that he was being bullied, and he's kind of finally standing up for himself.
Yeah, I don't know what I ever, because I didn't know what this movie was about going into it. I never knew what I thought it would be, but I think I felt like a similar dynamic because obviously, like the poster has Kurt Russell and he's holding the football, and then Rob Williams looks nerdy. So it's like, okay, this is a bully and bullied situation. So it's gonna have some kind of dynamic like that, which it doesn't. And also, Kurt Russell is a returning actor. We got to get him in here. Tango and Cash, we covered that one a while ago. Kurt Russell is also great.
And he'll be coming up a lot soon with
Yes,
our
very
John
soon.
Carver retrospective. But yeah, again, also Kurt Russell had some really great roles as well. Just a actor that he's been in some bad movies, don't
Oh
get me
yeah.
wrong.
But that's
But
because his career spans so long since he was a child actor.
oh yeah, I mean I remember watching even like his Disney movies like The
Hmm.
Computer Wore Tennis Shoes and
Yep.
Now You See Him, Now You Don't, those types of movies. But uh, anyway, getting into this movie, its movie is not like any what we have just described at all. So forget
No.
all that. So basically, this town is basically been hit with a drought of just bad sports teams. They've never had a successful sport team at any point. It's been kind of like disgraced. And they even mentioned like this guy named Kid Lester, which
Hmm.
seems kind of nothing. And they don't bring it up again until like the very end of the movie.
To the point
And
where I forgot about it.
yeah, well, like when they brought it, I was like, because they have like this moment at the end of the movie where it's just supposed
Mhm.
to be like, you're supposed to be like, oh my God, that's him. And I had to like think for a second. I was like, why is this such a big deal? And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah, which it should have been brought up multiple times, like the legend of Kid Lester or something, just to keep that going. Instead, it's a little forgotten. But yeah, the beginning of the movie has a bunch of like B footage, some modern footage of just like stuff cobbled together for this town called Taft, which not only is their football game completely horrible, but just everything in the town is bad. Like it's pretty much just a horrible town where nothing good has ever happened and never will is kind of the legend. Which makes you think like, why are there so many people living here? Get the hell out.
Yeah, well, they've got nowhere else to go, Nathan.
I
Where
guess you're
else are they
right.
gonna go?
Even though a lot of the football team in the movie, they do actually go away to different places.
Well, they were the lucky ones.
Yes, yeah, but Robin Williams and Kurt Russell are two that stuck around, which that's introduced is that they both were football players, and Robin Williams wasn't even like a main one, but this Hail Mary throw from Kurt Russell goes out, and they could have won the game, their first big win ever against their rival town, and Robin Williams doesn't catch it. He completely fails everything, so he becomes the butt of the joke for everybody.
Yeah, and to the point too where he is completely obsessed with this moment. There's
Hmm.
not a minute that goes by where he's not thinking about it. I mean, he's constantly watching film of this game and he's bringing it up constantly so to the point where everyone that he knows is like sick of hearing about it. They're just, they that he brings it up just constantly. And Kurt Russell's character, he never really amounted to anything because he ended up suffering an injury during the game,
Hmm.
and which kind of ended like any college prospects that he had, and he ended up just becoming like a mechanic or like a body shop guy in
Hmm.
town. And Robin Williams is now kind of in this uh well, how would you describe it? Like this very um I don't want to say like whipped marriage, but it's just
I don't know how to explain it. It's almost like he can't live up to, like, he puts himself down in a way where he can never live up to like what he wants to be, and it kind of like kills their marriage in a way. But she's definitely the stronger force, because the whole time Robin Williams is like, do you love me? Do you think I'm good enough? Am I good enough? Because he just can't get past this football game. And she constantly is like, I don't care. Stop talking about it. I don't care about football, but obviously she knows. That's like kind of a running gag, is that she actually does know a lot about football.
yeah. Well, the thing in this movie is because like I thought it was going to be like he's in this very loveless marriage, like that, or at least how it was going to be portrayed. Like he was in like this loveless
Mm-hmm.
marriage, and she would just constantly berate him and beat him down because he works as a bank manager
Mm-hmm.
for this bank that his father-in-law owns, that his wife's father
Mm-hmm.
owns, and he's kind of treated like a chump there, and his father-in-law is a big supporter of Bakersfield, which is the rival team that beat them that time. And
Mm-hmm.
he's constantly talking about how much Taft is a terrible football team, and Bakersfield's like, oh, Bakersfield's got a great team this year, it looks like, and it gets really old in his mind. But yeah, like I said, like I thought this was going to be like in some type of loveless marriage where Robin Williams was going to be kind of very meek, and eventually he was going to like stand up for himself and or leave her, and
Mm-hmm.
maybe find somebody else that's like like a girl that he knew in high school that he never really had feelings for. But that's not the case at all. Like he is 100% the problem in their relationship.
Oh yeah, yeah. Like everything seems to be fine. He just honestly brings everything down, and like is so obsessive that it just like he can't even love his wife. Which I do want to say, do you know who his wife is? You might not. You do know who plays him? Her.
uh yeah, it's Pamela, no, 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 Pamela Reed's Kurt
The
Russell's
Yeah, Kurt
wife.
Russell's wife. Yeah, it's Holly Palance, which is Jack Palance's daughter, who is also married to the director of this movie. But it's not like that kind of horrible performance though, where it's like, oh, my wife is in the movie, kind of bad, but like it makes a little sense, you know.
I mean, she's not bad or anything.
No.
I thought she was decent. Nothing noteworthy. Uh, but yeah, that's kind of like his whole deal is just he's been kind of longing to redeem himself. And then, like I said, we cut back to Kurt Russell. He's also like in this rut type of marriage where he's married to Pamela Reed, from Kindergarten Cop is probably what people remember her from. And he eventually she eventually is just like, hey, like I've had it being here in this loser type of marriage. Like I want to go out to Hollywood and I want to be get discovered.
Mhm.
And so, but apparently she's done this multiple times and she ends up coming back at some point.
Yeah, but he goes, this is the first time where she said divorce. So there's a little something going on there, which I do think I think he should be proud of who he is. I mean, you see the paintings he paints on these vans, which is what he does. He paints the sides of vans. He paints like Renaissance art on the side of vans, which I know is kind of a throwaway joke, but I'm like, dang, go be an artist. Go paint or something.
Right. He is absolutely putting his all into this
Yeah.
whole thing.
And I do like the detail that like he also doesn't allow his wife to leave because he won't fix her car. Um so like that's kind of like it's like, oh, I have to act, your car will not get you to LA, and I have not, right, I will repair it eventually kind of deal. But at the same time, Robin Williams brings his car to the shop, and this is where I realized the dynamic would be a little different, because they're kind of friendly to each other, Robin Williams and Kurt Russell. Like, they're not best friends or anything, but they are like they kind of know each other and they deal with each other.
They're on good terms. I mean, they're not best friends or anything like that, but they're not adversarial or anything at all.
No.
They're just kind of just like, hey, this is just a guy that I've known for 20 years or whatever it is at this point.
Yeah, and it's a small town kind of deal. but he gets loaner cars so he could go to a massage parlor so he can sleep with a
Um, What
prostitute, but he doesn't
what
actually
is that?
sleep with her. I don't know. This is probably one of my least favorite parts of this movie because it doesn't come back up. He sneakily goes to like a masseuse prostitute type of thing, and he just complains about his football game the whole time, and to the point where she's even like, can we just like sleep with each other? She's like, oh, are we gonna actually sleep with each other? And he's like, no, I have to complain about this football game. That's kind of what it is. But it's like, it's so odd and it's so against their marriage, which he's supposed to be all for their marriage, but it's never brought up again that he does this. It's a very
Well,
one-off
like,
thing.
well, because he doesn't cheat on her, does he?
No,
Like, he doesn't technically like do anything with her.
yeah,
He just basically pays all this money just to go complain to somebody.
but I think he's naked in the bed and they both lay in there together, which I mean, like, I don't think anybody would be happy with if that happened. But he doesn't
Probably
do
not.
anything. He doesn't do anything. Um, yeah, here's my thing with this movie. I don't think this is a bad movie, but it scenes like that I don't think are as funny as it wants to be. I didn't find this movie particularly funny.
No, this movie is supposed to be a comedy, and I mean, there's some
It's
chuckle-worthy
yeah.
moments, but I had nothing where I was just like, oh, that's really clever or funny type of thing. It was mostly just because of some really extreme reactions out of the characters that made it funny.
Yeah.
And uh, I mean, eventually that prostitute, she basically just tells him, well, why don't you just replay this game then if you want to, get over this? And he's like, hey, that's a great idea. So he has to go convince Kurt Russell, who's really hesitant at first, does not want to do it, but
Mhm.
basically he's just like, hey, like, maybe this will lead to something. You can help out your mortgage.
Yeah.
Because he runs the bank and he's basically just like, he's basically bribing him with bank money, telling him he'll like approve, he'll help
Yeah.
him get out of debt.
What we learn, Robin Williams isn't like the nice type, like the guy you look after. He's very flawed and actually a really bad guy in this movie because he actually gets the town together and they decide they don't want to go through with this high school football game. But Robin Williams has already made the plans with the rival town to play this game, and it's already going to happen. So the way he convinces them is he dresses up as the other town's mascot, destroys like their like town hall or whatever, dumps paint on everything, gets the town so angry that they are going to go to war with this other high school.
Yeah, that's the only way that he could rally them to this occasion. And Robin Williams' wife is not happy about this. And
Mhm.
basically, she's just like, you either need to choose, it's me or football. And he's just like, and then we cut to him at the motel.
Yeah, yeah, and because Kurt Russell's wife, their marriage is already on the rocks, so we have two characters that have to deal with their wife. So that's this movie not is not only a football movie; it's kind of like this get back your wife romance movie.
Um, Speaking, I want to kind of circle back really quick. Nathan, did you notice there is somebody in this cast that's a returning actor?
Yes, I did. Are we talking about the child actor Cameron in this movie?
Yes, because I was watching this and I was like, is that Kirk Cameron? I'm like, that
No,
is Kirk Cameron.
yep. It's very young Kirk Cameron. Interesting. I'm sure nowadays he does not agree with this movie. He's like, I regret being in that movie.
That massage parlor scene should have been taken right out.
Yeah, I mean, he's not wrong, but well, actually, no, because it's important to the plot. Very, very important to the plot. Um, God, Kirk Cameron. He doesn't do anything in this movie, though. He's just a kid.
No, he's just a kid. But anyway,
Mhm.
that the whole town is kind of rallied. They're ready to go for it, and they have to whip everybody into shape. And of course, it kind of plays out like you would imagine. Like everyone's really out of shape. Like they get back like the old high school football team. They're all men in like their mid 30s or early 40s, something like that. And they're they have to like do like they have like this big training montage, and they're all kind of
Mhm.
like real lackluster. And they're like, oh, let's do aerobics. And then they're like, this is girl stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
this
you
is
know, this
for
is
ladies.
he's
And
yeah,
there's like a coach like that's like there, kind of a side character who's like, this makes me want to vomit. Um,
yeah.
yeah, I was surprised just how much into the football training this movie is. And a lot of the end game is a football movie. So I mean, I you can call this pretty much a sports movie. I mean, like this feels like just like a regular football movie, which I would never expect Robin Williams to be in a football movie. That feels so weird to me.
I did too. I thought that he does not belong in a sports movie, but apparently he did play high school football. So what do
Oh,
I know?
yeah, okay, cool. So he at least knows his stuff. Kurt Russell now, he makes sense as a football star. That
Yeah,
I get.
yeah. And the movie, I mean, at that point, the movie becomes a little formulaic because it pretty much plays out like how you would think.
Hmm.
Uh, I mean, we could kind of sit here and kind of go through the whole movie, but I mean, the I guess like the pivotal point is they do find out that Robin Williams was the one that trashed the town hall and
Hmm.
vandalized everything, and he was so he kind of gets sat out of the game, and you think he's not going to get his big moment to redeem himself. And
Yeah.
even Kurt Russell was like, before this happened, he's like, honestly, I was planning on not even throwing it to you and just kind of showing you out and the type of thing, and because he had so little faith in him.
Hmm.
But of course, you know, we do get the moment at the very end where Kurt Russell does throw the ball, and Robin Williams almost drops it again, but he is able to catch it and score the winning touchdown.
So this is a very positive, like you said, formulaic, because the first half of the game they're playing bad, and then they find out that Robin Williams was the one who like you know set up this game and everything, and then actually riles them up to play a better game. So their second half is much better after rain sets in. It's fair, and then of course it's a positive. Oh, and they get their wives back, which I do want to bring up that scene because I thought it was kind of funny where they have to have a dinner date together, and
Yeah.
yeah, and they're not allowed to talk about sex or football. Like that was what was off the table. And so they didn't know what to talk about. So they just they're talking about like politics, and I think they're like, "Oh, so yeah, what's going on in the Middle East?" And then Robin Williams has like some amazingly like has a lot to say about it, but obviously no one else is responding. And then becomes a game of them trying to watch the football game while dinner's going on, which we've seen before, but I thought it was kind of funny.
Anything bad that happens to these characters, it's always Robin Williams' fault. So, I
Oh
mean,
yeah, exactly. Robin
because
Williams, because Kurt Russell is pretty like he can make it without watching football. It's Robin Williams that's like an addict.
yeah, he has to watch Monday Night Football. And like, even like his wife, you know, what earlier was just it's like, I don't ask for much. I let you watch Monday Night Football. I just ask for a little bit of time together. Eh, but yeah, it's kind of silly. I mean, like I said, it plays out like how you would think it would. It almost feels like, and this is just my opinion, that this movie almost feels like a little dated even then.
Hmm.
Like for me, this would be like one of those movies from probably like the 40s or 50s or something like
Really?
that. Well, I mean, like I could see it where it's like they had like this big game and they kind of failed it, and then you know, like they have to get back like all the old football teams and replay the same game over again. I mean, that's what it kind
Mhm.
of seems like to me. But I, uh, I mean, overall, it's not a bad movie. It's not great either,
Hmm.
to be honest. I mean, I enjoyed the the performances in there. I mean, but I've definitely seen better out of everybody else in this movie.
Yeah, I don't know about dated. I get what you're saying. It's kind of like an old school sports movie, like where it's about a town. I feel like by this point, the small
Dated is a
town
bad word,
movie.
probably, but I just feel like this belongs in another era.
Yeah, I can see that. For me, I just after this movie was over, it felt just felt kind of pointless. When you make a movie this down to formula, when it's this like specific, like I know the beats, and it has these big actors, and I think this movie costs like 14 million or something. It's like what 12 million. It's kind of like, what are we doing here? I felt like there was no passion behind this movie. It just felt like we're gonna make a football movie, get some actors together, and call it a day. I didn't hate this movie, and I actually kind of thought it was fine. It's
Yeah, absolutely.
but I do think there's a reason this is lost to time, because this will be gone from my memory in 2 years. Like, I will know the basic plot, but otherwise I won't remember scenes or anything really from this movie.
Yeah, that's pretty much what my feelings are. It's fine for what it is, but also unremarkable at the same time.
Yeah, so I would give it a very, very light recommend. Like, and only to people that like, if you like Robin Williams, but you're not getting the normal Robin Williams in this movie. He kind of goes big, but it is a very subdued role for him.
Yeah, definitely. But I think that's pretty much going to do it for this one, Nathan. So, Nathan, what are we going to be talking about next time?
All right. Well, Ryan, we are going to be talking about The Wild One from 1953. And if you're interested in watching that with us, you can watch that over on Tubi. But Ryan, what are we talking about next Thursday?
Well, Nathan, you know what? We love Tubi so much. So I thought it'd be nice to show some love to some Tubi originals. So, Nathan, we're going to be talking about the movie Adopted, which is on Tubi for free.
Awesome. Well, I'm excited to watch Adopted.
I could tell. But if you have any thoughts and opinions, please email us over at driveanddoubleFeaturePodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget to check out our Patreon, patreon.com/driveanddoubleFeaturePodcast, and check out our YouTube, youtube.com/driveanddoubleFeaturePodcast. But until next time.
Until next time.